Steve about his R2 units. So how do you get from that shell to a moving actual functional R2?
Okay, from that shell to a functional R2, you need electronics. That one's free of electronics at the moment. So you have to put motors into the feet. You got to have the right speed controllers and stuff. Most of these here run off of a speed controller that controls the coordination between the feet and all the acceleration, deceleration, and the brand we're using basically is from explosive ordnance robots.
How powerful is that motor?
The motors are really powerful. It's the same things you would see in a BattleBot, but they're also used in wheelchair lifts. Then there's a motor in the dome that's run by a small speed controller like you'd have in an RC car. And all that has to do is rotate, back and forward to make the dome go.
Tell me, how much does one of these weigh?
These weigh anywhere from 175, 200 pounds.
That's like a linebacker.
Yes, and if it runs into you, it's very similar.
Pretty painful. So what's going on up top in his dome? All the pieces that move, the periscope, what's going on in there?
Okay, most of these, one of the nice technologies that we're using is a slip ring. So all the power and all the signals are housed in the bottom, and they're coming up through a spinning ring, so you can have 12, 24 channels running through, and it twists 360 without ever tangling a wire. So all that's transferred up. And there's all kinds of gadgets. The Periscope is a fun one. It lifts in and out, which was never on an actual droid. If you see it in the movies, it only comes out of the sand, or it's hidden in fog. So to have that put on is an innovation just of the club to do that.
Very cool.
Then you have all the panels that open. Chris is behind you. His panels will do the wave if he pushes a switch just around.
That's really cool.
Yes, and both the finished ones have fire extinguishers in them as well.
Awesome. Now, how much would it cost me to build startup, from the beginning?
It depends on what you're going to build with. There's multiple materials, whether you're going to do it with styrene, wood, or aluminum.
Okay, let's say aluminum. Let's say I'm going to build one of these real heavy actual R2s.
You should expect a budget about 10 grand over a 2 to 3 year period.
These are $10,000 R2 units?
Easily.
Oh my goodness.
Some of us will come in under that. Some of us will go over that. It depends on how innovative of a person you are. And actually, the less innovative, probably the better off you are.
What's the weirdest, different sort of non-traditional thing that somebody's built into one of the R2 units?
Mine on the sound system runs off of my Zune MP3 player.
That's pretty cool.
So I hacked the docking station to fit inside. So my sounds are run off of a remote currently. Eventually, I'll move R2 sounds to a different system, but I'll keep the Zune because he's my home stereo now.
That's great. So your home stereo is an R2-D2.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Very cool. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.